Hey team, on the couch, Pup from Lives Worth Living, and today we're talking alcohol.
Yeah, hoops. It's always a timely part of the year, really, where people's festive season and moods takes off, and we all sort of enjoy a tip or two. Or well, that's generalising, not all of us, but I certainly drink a wee bit of alcohol and enjoy it. I've never been a big drinker, but I enjoy a little whiskey every now and then, and occasional beer. But the downside of alcohol is that a lot of people simply shouldn't drink it, hoops. It's for them, it's a drug that does probably more harm in this country than all the other drugs put together. And that's the sad side of it. It's a socially acceptable drug, so therefore it's accepted amongst society and it functions. But the bottom line is, behind those happy people you see having a good time is an awful lot of sadness. And one of those is what Anna's been talking about in your recent video with White Ribbon. And I want to give Anna and her crew a lot of kudos for what they're doing, because it's been my pleasure to work alongside Anna for the last sort of 4 years, hoops, since I went to Safer Mid Canterbury. And her dedication and time with the family that she puts into her work is quite remarkable. And plus counselling, I use her as a counsellor for a lot of my clients. So, big shout out to her and the crew for their upcoming quiz night and all the rest of it.
Yep.
Look, Hoops, my background, as you know, was many years in the police. And unfortunately, in the police, you see the offside of alcohol. It's not all about people having a good time. Behind it is an awful lot of sadness, including the one that I want to talk about, the family violence side of it. And violence is usually against a woman, and is something that most of us find despicable. But unfortunately, people from all walks of life often use drinking as a crutch, and then it becomes the catalyst to, unfortunately, violence. And I remember writing a letter to Jenny Shipley many, many years ago when she was our Minister of Health, saying that as a police officer, I've never taken thousands of dollars worth of damage complaints on public property like our park as a result of people smoking too much. And I've never gone to a car crash and held somebody in my arms as they passed away as a result of smoking too much. And I've never went into a family home where you couldn't recognise a woman's face because somebody had smoked too much and then felt it necessary to take it out on their partner. And yet I've seen all that with alcohol far too many times. And the bottom line is, Hoops, as a society, New Zealand is very immature with our alcohol drinking. And yet we see overseas where countries do treat alcohol maturely and it's a part of their family life. And they don't feel this need to binge drink to the extent that they lose control over that substance. And it's a sad part of our society, really, Hoops.
What's the answer? Education, but it's such a hard message to get through, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Hoops, and mainly because, unfortunately, the adults that should be the role models have been brought up as that being a normal way of life. And there's a lot of theories behind that with New Zealand. It goes back to our 6 o'clock binge drinking, where people would finish work at 5, rush down to the pub, which closed at 6.
Yes. Yeah.
So they guggled down as many jugs of beer as they could in that very short time. And there lies the problem, that we really have been brought up very immaturely. And that's the problem behind our binge drinking. The other thing, you'd know this as a counsellor, because it's beyond your control really, because our national laws allow alcohol to be this really normalised type drug. So we sell it at outlets just about on every corner, and cheap, and yet really it's causing a lot of harm to those very often lower socioeconomic areas where they set up these outlets,
Yeah.
so that it just makes it so easy for people to get hold of. Look, education's the answer, and responsibility of those older ones to set the ground rules, really. You know, if you're going to introduce alcohol to your young people, it should be you doing it maturely through the home and talking to young people about alcohol, not just allowing them to go away and learn it from their mates in dangerous situations.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you're not, you know what the peer pressure's like, Hoops. I had it way back when I was at secondary school. And you know, you're not one of the people in the group until you've got pissed.
Yes.
And yet, you know, that's such a sad message when we think about it, that people should have the right to be able to stand up and say, I'm not drinking tonight.
Yeah.
You know, next week, or next time we do this, I'd like to talk a wee bit about it in relation to mental health, which is where I'm coming from now. But the bottom line is my whole life has been spent around tragedy that's been brought about through alcohol abuse, you know, in my previous career and this one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're quite right. If parents are taking aside their kids, I wish it had been done for me, and I wish I'd done it with Josh and Mackenzie, and said, right, you know, this is your wines and this is your beers, and you know, these different sort of beers have this different taste. And savour that and enjoy it. There's no need to go.
Yeah, like
crazy.
alcohol should be part of our social family.
I think of
family
France,
life.
and I think of the
Correct.
dinner with the wine and the food
And so it doesn't
celebration.
become a big deal when you
Yes.
turn to 16 or whatever. That alcohol, I'll get pissed. You know,
Yeah.
to them it's been so normalised that it's just a way of their life. It doesn't control their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a long way to go, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, mate. But like everything, we need to talk about it as a country.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it seems the alcohol industry is such a powerful one that governments never take it on.
Yeah.
It becomes sort of a don't touch that, because the bottom line is there's a lot of taxes come in. Unlike smoking, that was mainly controlled through overseas industries, so therefore was easier to pick on.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting for a second it shouldn't have been picked on,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying, that we've got this double standard going on.
Yeah. Great message. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks.